Hi everybody, it's Meg from Books Off the Beaten Path, and it is time for another early morning book review. And today we will be reviewing Phyllis Whitney's The Window on the Square. So let me just read the back to you here. It says, I never meant to do it. I only meant to frighten him, never kill him. Well, that's interesting. Could Megan believe the boy, or was Jeremy Reed really what everyone said, a cold-blooded little killer? Somewhere in the huge, gloomy Reed mansion was the key to the truth, and Megan knew she had to find it. What she did not know was that the key would also unlock a secret too deadly for her to learn and live. Like the novels of Mary Stuart, this chilling tale of romance and terror is a superior whodunit and an absorbing suspense story. That was from the New York Morning Telegraph. I don't even know if they're still around. It was owned by Bobby. So Bobby, I have your book now. So, sorry. Okay. Copyright date 1962. Now, this was a long one. This was a long one for me to read. The font is really small. It's really packed in there. And it had a lot of twists and turns. So let me give you the overview. So the overview is that Megan something, I've forgotten her last name. Megan is right after the Civil War. And Megan has been hired to go to this house on Washington Square. And she's been hired as a dressmaker to the lady of the house. But she gets there, and the husband of the lady of the house says, you know what, that was all a fake out. We don't need a dressmaker. We wanted you to come here to supervise our homicidal child, Jeremy. And she says, why me? And he said, well, we found out that you had a mentally handicapped brother who died, and you cared for him. So I think that was really interesting that in 1962 they were equating mentally handicapped children with homicidal maniacs, I guess. He was saying, well, you know, it's kind of the same thing, you know, apples to oranges, blah, blah, blah. And so she's like, well, I can't care for a homicidal little child. I don't know how to do this. Well, supposedly what happened was when Jeremy was 7 years old, he goes into his father's room, and because he'd been punished earlier in the day and he was mad at his dad, and he goes into his father's room and he shoots him with a pistol. And nobody likes him now, and he doesn't go to school, and he's just, you know, trapped in this house on Washington Square. And so she feels sorry for the little kid because everybody said it was an accident and, you know, he didn't mean to do it. Well, let me take that back. That was the story the family gave to the papers and to the police and everything like that. Everybody in the house believes he did it intentionally. But in order to avoid scandal, they said he was like playing with the gun and it went off accidentally and he shot his dad. Now the mom, her name is, just a second, what is her name? I read this whole damn book. I can't even remember her name. I think it's Jessica. We'll call her Jessica. You know, if you read it and I'm wrong, send me a comment. Really blast me for not remembering that, because I just finished this day before yesterday. Anyway, so Jessica, or Jennifer, something with a J, she really does not like Jeremy. She doesn't like her son. There's two kids. There's Selena and then there's Jeremy. And Selena is kind of a little brat. She's, you know, very doted on. She's a little spoiled and everything like that. And she's always running around going, I've got a secret. I've got a secret. And to just want to smack her across the room. In the meantime, Jeremy is going through this, nobody likes me, everybody hates me, I'm a horrible person, I shot my dad, it was awful, and everything like that, which of course you would. He's 8 now, this happened a year ago. So the mom tells Megan she just doesn't like her son at all. She's like, I'm done with him. I just don't want to spend any time with him. I don't like him. So you kind of take over for me. So the question is, did he really do this? And if he did do it, is there any way to save him, to sort of get him out of his depressed mode and make him a regular little boy again, everything like that? This book had so many twists and turns, though. It's not at all straightforward. They have a governess, Mrs. Garth, who's just as mean as sin. But she is very devoted to Jessica or Jennifer, whatever the wife's name is. And she likes to go into, true, she likes to go into her mistress's boudoir when her mistress is out and try on her clothes and prance around and everything like that, because that's one of Selena's secrets that she does tell Megan. And they're like, let's go look at her, let's go watch her and everything like that, which is one sick individual. But then we have the tutor, and the tutor is this guy named Andrew, and he's pretty nice, you know, we like him and everything like that. And but he has a very sarcastic, biting sense of humor. And so Megan is not always sure if she likes him or not. But I mean, we're in the car, and this one, imagine being in a car, and you're driving along in the car, and the road looks straight, and then all of a sudden, you got a twist and a turn. So we're going along, and we're driving along, and she's not sure she likes Andrew, and then all of a sudden, Andrew asks her out on a date. So we go down that road. So we're going along, and she and Andrew are getting along, and there might be a love affair there. And then Mr. Reed, there's Twitch in the background. I hope she doesn't knock my stuff over. Mr. Reed, who is the husband, starts making the moves on Megan. So we got to go down that road. It's just a long book, and it has a lot of twists and turns in it and everything. Phyllis A. Whitney is not one of my favorite authors. I like her. I would say she's a very strong acquaintance. She's not one of my favorite Gothic authors because she's just too long. I mean, she's like, typical scene is like, I went into the nursery where they were writing their sums in chalk, and the chalk looked like snow falling down outside. And it's like, you could have just said, I went into the nursery and they were doing math, Phyllis. But anyway, the ending, chef's kiss. The ending was fantastic. It was totally out of the blue. It was 100% shocking. I mean, I was reading it like that. It was a really good book. A little long, I'll admit, a little heavy on the descriptions. And I love descriptions, but for some reason, Phyllis A. Whitney, it just doesn't resonate with me. Like, say, a Barbara Michaels does, or, you know, a Mary Stewart. She just doesn't have that je ne sais quoi. But I gave it a 4 stars because when you got to the end, oh, this cat, when you got to the end, it was just amazing. The way she wound everything up and tied up all the loose ends. And it was just a really, really good read. So I gave it a 4 stars on Goodreads, and I think it's very worthwhile. It's a lot of fun. And like I said, you're in the room. Oh my God. You know, I know what you're thinking. Why not just put the cat in the other room? I should do that, shouldn't I? I should put the cat in the bedroom because of all of this. Hold on. Ugh. Anyway, I better wind it up before she decides to take me out again. Sorry about all that motion. I hope I didn't make you guys seasick. Anyway, highly recommend Window on the Square. It had me going down one road and then another road and then another road, and then you're given a lot of red herrings, and I loved it. So anyway, leave me a like, hit subscribe, and I will check you later.